Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday, September 25th. Well, we are stuck in a rut, and it's a nice rut to be stuck in here in the northeastern part of the country. High pressure remains rather stationary across the Great Lakes, the Mid-Atlantic region, New England, even the southeastern part of Canada, and it will continue to do so for the next several days. It looks like we'll stay in a nice weather pattern here right through the upcoming weekend. Longer term, there is one fly in the ointment. There will be a low pressure system off the East Coast at the end of the weekend. Some signs of it possibly retrograding back towards the Mid-Atlantic coast by the early part of next week. However, odds favor it staying off the East Coast, but it'll be close enough that it warrants some attention over the next few days. Well, to begin today, I wanted to take a look at the North Atlantic Oscillation Index. We haven't looked at this in quite a while here. We will look at this with increasing frequency as we approach the winter months, because the North Atlantic Oscillation is an index that meteorologists use to track the sea surface temperature pattern in the North Atlantic as well as a pressure pattern in the North Atlantic, because what goes on in the North Atlantic can have an effect on the northeastern part of the U.S., specifically with respect to cold air intrusions as we approach the winter months and even East Coast snowstorms. Now, this particular forecast shows a tanking of the NAO right here over the next few days to negative levels, really that we have not seen for the past couple of months. This is the NAO tracking all the way back to the early part of June, and it looks like we are headed for a region down around -2 for the NAO index that we haven't seen in quite a while. Could this be a red flag for an East Coast storm at the end of the week and early part of next week? Certainly can be, and that's why we will monitor the situation closely. But again, right now, the odds favor this potential storm staying off the East Coast the early part of next week. Well, here's the latest surface map, and high pressure just continues to dominate the scene here over the Great Lakes, the Mid-Atlantic region, New England. The entire northeastern quadrant of the country is stuck in a rut, and a very nice rut. Meanwhile, down in some areas, you're stuck in a pattern here where it's rainy day after day. We'll look at the upper air pattern in a moment, but in these two regions right here, there's rainfall, some of it heavy, and it'll continue for quite a while, especially in Florida. They could receive some heavy rainfall along the west coast over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. One other area of inclement weather is out here in the interior west, where there's a strong upper level low and some cooler air plunging in towards the southern Rockies. They'll be warm today in Denver, around 80 degrees, but much cooler by the end of the week as this cool front moves through that region. Highs on Friday in Denver, much closer to the 60-degree mark compared to the 80 degrees that they'll experience this afternoon. Well, here's a current look at the upper level pattern, the 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet up in the atmosphere. You notice a lot of up and down flow here, high amplitude flow, a strong upper level trough here, a ridge of high pressure in the middle of the country, another area of a trough in the upper part of the atmosphere here, kind of a ridge right here across the Mid-Atlantic region, and yet another strong upper level low here over the northeastern part of New England. All of this tells you a couple of things. One is that it's a very slow moving pattern. All of this flow, up and down flow like this, does not bode well for surface systems to be moved along. And if you are stuck in a pattern that's nice, you're lucky. But if you're stuck in a pattern that's rainy, you could ultimately get some heavy rain and even some flooding. Again, right now, some heavy rainfall here around the west coast of Florida, and a lot of rainfall right now associated with this strong upper level low in the interior west. And it's cold enough for some snow across the Rockies in that part of the country for the next couple of days. But what happens to this upper level pattern as we get into the weekend? Well, here again is the current look, and here's the way the upper level pattern will change according to this GFS forecast map by Saturday. And notice a little bit of a trough here showing up off the East Coast, and indeed there will be a low pressure area right in this region come the early part of the weekend, and there's some signs that it could retrograde back towards the Mid-Atlantic coast come Sunday night and Monday. But again, right now odds favor it staying off the coast, although there certainly can be some low-level east to northeast winds that will affect areas certainly from New York City up to New England the early part of next week. So we'll continue to monitor this possibility Nice weather here in the northeastern part of the country right through the weekend, but a little bit of a question mark for Sunday night and Monday as we'll watch this potential low pressure area that will be sitting off the East Coast during the weekend. Well, let's take a look at some weekend forecast maps from last night's Zero Z GFS model run. We'll look at Saturday morning, then Sunday morning, and then Monday morning. This is a Saturday morning forecast. Continuation of strong high pressure sitting right on top of the region. And again, we are stuck in this nice weather pattern here in the Mid-Atlantic region, and it will continue right through the upcoming weekend. Here's the first signs of a low pressure area off the East Coast. This is off the southeast coast come early Saturday morning, and there's a weak frontal system out here in the middle part of the country. Let's now jump ahead to the forecast map for Sunday morning. Now by Sunday morning, a couple things are going on here. The high pressure is tending to retreat, move off the northeast coast. A little piece of it is hanging back here in the southeastern U.S., but that low pressure area now has moved northward a little bit. And again, there's some model forecasts in recent days that have had this retrograding back towards the mid-Atlantic coastline. Again, high pressure hanging on Sunday. Looks like still a rather pleasant day here in the northeastern part of the country. Let's now jump ahead to Monday morning. Here's the GFS forecast map for Monday morning. High pressure has tended to pull off the northeast coast in this direction right here. And here's the low pressure area, quite a vigorous little low pressure system sitting well off the coast here come Monday morning. But again, it's starting to tend to turn back in this direction, perhaps retrograding a little bit. Again, a little bit higher possibility of it affecting New York, New England come Sunday night and Monday. Looks like the nice weather pattern in the Mid-Atlantic region from New York southwestward through D.C. will hang on right through the upcoming weekend. This potential event will occur Sunday night and Monday. And again, right now, odds favor it staying off the East Coast, but we'll continue to monitor it over the next few days here at the SIWeather.com. That's it for now. For the SIWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorey.